Okay, we back. We ain't going nowhere. It is, and I'm super excited to announce this. It's a Toxic Talk Thursday. This Thursday, August the 15th, 2024, 4 minutes after the hour, guys. Welcome, welcome, and welcome to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show. Feature Wake Up Team with the Queen, SennyJ, and the Queen, Miss Miko. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. God bless each and every one of you guys. I hope you guys are safe out there and your family. Listen, uh, this is please like, share, follow, and subscribe to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team. The chat room's open, or you can call in 570-982-6950. This is where you get your morning love. No question about it. That's why we're here. There's a lot of folks out there that have a deficit of love. I talk about that all the time. But if you hang out with us, this will be your sanctuary for love, for laughter, for some educated opinions, some silly ones as well. But we're here for it. But most importantly, it's the only place on earth where you get your morning started right. To the Queen, SennyJ, good morning. God bless. Looking well this morning. And how are you, young lady?
Thank you, Shawn. I look and feel like I just rolled out of bed, but I've been up for a while, guys. Good morning. We are so happy to have you here. We have a great show for you today. We're going to get started off with Senny Says, where I will let you know what is going on in Hollywood, pop culture, entertainment news. We're also going to have front page news with Senny J, where I will let you know what is going on locally, nationally, and globally, because it's a lot. So you want to make sure you stick around for that.
Exactly. And please stick around and please like, share, follow, and subscribe to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up Team. And we appreciate you. And when the fall season starts, we're going to start asking for donations again. But that's something different. I want to share this. Cindy's right. She said there's a lot going on. And welcome this morning, guys. Nyroma Johnson and also the one and only, the beloved family member, Gregory Young in the Hill. Man, God bless you, bro. I hope you guys are safe out there this beautiful Thursday morning. Cindy's right. She made a point, and I was thinking about it before she even said it. Or there's a lot going on, and I share this. That even one thing that is certain and one thing that is true is there's a lot going on in the world. There's not a boring moment that's happening via whether if it's something in current events, something as far as what individuals do on a daily basis that we see on social media or online. And I say this, and I dare to say this before we start the show. Even if you're living a boring life, it's really not boring. Because if nothing's popping with you, there's a lot of information and news that is fed to you, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, that can entertain you throughout a particular day. I think one thing, and I'm gonna go out on a limb with this, SennyJ. I think social media and the internet, may I dare say, have took boredom away from society or a decline in boredom. You rarely hear, I mean, for me, I don't know, Cindy, I will ask you after I'll yield my time. When was the last time, and I'm asking this question for myself, but I ask for everybody, when the last time you heard someone say, hey, you know what, I'm bored today? Because 20 years ago and 30 years ago, boredom was popping. It was actually trending. Boredom might have been uh, 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 diagnosed as a disorder. I don't know. But there's one thing that I will say from my experience, guys in the chat room, SennyJ, help me out here. Is boredom still, has the internet and social media conquered boredom? Because what do we do, per example, SennyJ, when we bored? We have a device to pick up, to look at, whatever's going on in the world or anything local or social. We could go outside. I know I'm gonna say something like a Miko thing, like you could go outside and take a walk and cut the grass. Miko would say something like that. There's people that you can talk to in real time. There's chat boxes and AI and groups. Because remember back in the day, we used to have to literally, Cindy, this before your time, we would literally have to find a group. You would have to go in the yellow pages, local newspaper, find a group, and attend the group meeting. Now we have groups. You could go online and type in groups, and groups come up, and then you can join the group and start talking. So I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there. I'm gonna yield my time. Good, bad, or indifference, any way you want to see this, have the internet and social media crushed or almost eliminated boredom? SennyJ, I asked this question before we start. Stephanie's in the chat room, and I know I got something to say about her today. Stephanie, our favorite comedian. I got something to say about her. Stephanie, give me a minute. Let me get this out of the way. And then I asked you guys in the chat room this question before I yield my time. When the last time you said I'm bored, or someone said, "Hey, I'm bored today. What's going on?" SennyJ, 2 questions. 1, and I yield my time. Has the internet, social media, is it crushing boredom? And when the last time you heard or you said to yourself you was bored? I yield my time.
I mean, I feel like yes and no, because for somebody who's chronically online like me, I get bored with scrolling. And a lot of the things that I see online are repetitive. If it's not the original video, it's somebody making a reaction to the video. And we all know people are not original. So it's just the same talking points regurgitated. So now I've found myself scrolling faster to get to the funny, because I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what am I watching? And I'm also being more mindful of the content I'm consuming. So I'm not, if you're talking about relationships, black and white, blah, like, I'm not listening to that. So there are times when I'm like, internet, give me something else. Like, I'm not being satisfied with the algorithm that I've actually created. Mind you, I'm scrolling on things that I should like, and I'm not liking it anymore. So yes, for somebody that might not be on the internet all the time, they have work and stuff like that, they're probably a week to 2. If you're somebody who's not on your apps all the time, you're a week and 2 behind the trends. So stuff that you're like, oh, let me send this, is so funny. Like, we've already seen it. Like, you're late. So for people that are like working and stuff like that, I guess you're not bored. For people that are creating content, I guess you're not bored. But the people that are like chronically consuming it, yes, I can still say I get bored. I can still say, when I went to Aruba, I was barely online. Barely. I slept on the plane for 4 hours because y'all know I was lit. So I
Right.
slept for 4 hours on the plane. By the time we got off the plane, like, yeah, I'm taking video, but I wasn't posting until like the next day at like 2 or 3 in the morning when I couldn't sleep. I wasn't even scrolling. I was curating my video to post. So I think it depends on what type of internet consumer you are,
So
because
then,
I
then
do
let,
get bored.
so let me ask you this question, and welcome to the show, guys. And I want Stephanie, don't go nowhere. I want to say something. Only place on earth where you get your morning started. Princess Cox, no pauses in the chat room, so I'm good. When the last time anyone referred to you in the question, "Hey man, I'm bored, I don't know what to do," because I'm trying to go back in my processor to remember when the last time I had a conversation with someone and they said they're bored, or there's a lot of boredom in their house or in their life, or maybe it has something to do with the people that I'm around, because I'm around a lot of go-getters. And thank God for Jesus for that. I'm around a lot of people that do a lot of things. Cool. I'm gonna give myself a round of applause because I hang out and I stick with the winners.
Wink. I
Then,
am.
before we move on, and welcome to the show. When the last time someone, or anyone in the chat room, but obviously I'm talking to Finney. When the last time someone came to you and said, "I'm bored as hell, I don't know what to do"?
Kids usually say it. My kids still say they're bored. They still like there's nothing to do. Blah blah. I don't even ask them anymore unless I got someplace to take them. I just let them do whatever they gonna do.
Let's get up for Cindy. She's the parent of the year. And actually,
I just
that's the right attitude to have. Now, before we move on, guys, put a number one chat room if you're still bored or boredom is somewhere in your life. I find that very hard to believe. There's no way in hell as an adult here and on this panel that you're bored. There is something going on
I
in
mean,
your
yeah,
life or somebody else's life. There's something happening.
yeah, with the internet, that you shouldn't be bored because there's so many things to do. So many ways you can self-improve, you can cook
Yes.
different things.
Yes.
It's like so many things you could find to do.
So then I beg to say, if you are boring or bored, you might need to take personal inventory of your life, bro. There is no way in hell that you should be bored, even if your life is boring. You can step out your life and watch other people live. But boredom and boring, I have to say I think the internet has crushed that. Now, before we move on, welcome to the show, guys. The only place on earth where you get your morning start right. Put it on one chat room if you're bored or boring or someone asks a question. I'm bored today. I need to know because I don't remember the last time anyone said that to me, and I don't remember the last time when I've been bored. Now, before we move on, Cindy, and I just want to take a little bit of this time, and then I'll yield back. I want to give a special shout out to my sister in the chat room. I don't know if she's still there, Stephanie K. Is she still in the chat room, Caesar?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think so, but she hasn't commented in a second.
Okay, good. And Stephanie's from Brooklyn. She lives in Brooklyn. And last night I was in Brooklyn and Princess, I do apologize. I wanted to meet up with you in Brooklyn tomorrow. I'm gonna call you, man. I know I'm terrible at the callbacks, you know that, but you know it's nothing but love.
Please, Prentice is doing stuff. He ain't
I know,
waiting for
Princess.
you.
I know, but I got something for him as well. But Princess, I promise I'll call you after the show.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, and Princess, I do apologize. I'm out here moving, trying to be great. But Princess, you're a good friend of mine, and I do have to talk to you about something now.
Does he know
Yeah, Stephanie out of Brooklyn, New York. I want to, and I've always show love to the women in the chat room and the ladies in comedy. Stephanie, everyone, saved my natural ass last night, boy. I host a show in a comedy club in Brooklyn named 275 Park Laughaholics Comedy Club on Park Avenue and Washington Avenue in Brooklyn once every 5 weeks, SennyJ. Okay. And Ray DeJean is the promoter. We all know Ray. He's been in the chat room and we show him love. Ray is the one that usually books the show. I just literally show up and host the room. I do my job. Mm. Ray DeJean was not even in New York last night. He was in Florida somewhere. I get to the comedy club, SennyJ. We got a nice size amount of people in the room. So y'all come out. If you're all in Brooklyn, y'all come on out every fifth Sunday. I'll put the fly out and y'all come on out. It's free admission. Cindy, I get to the comedy club at 7:45 p.m. Nice size crowd in the room. And if you guys, shout out to 275 Park Laughaholics Club. If you guys have never been there, go. If you're in the Brooklyn area, whatever. It's a beautiful place, great service. And I guarantee you have a great time. Top acts. Tony Rock was there recently. There's a lot of comedians that's been through there. And I walk into the room, Cindy. I walk into the comedy room, right? Mm-hmm. The room, nice size, and people are still coming in.
Right.
Cindy, there's not a comedian in sight.
Besides you.
Besides me. I walk in there and the managers go, hey man, welcome and we're glad to have you, Shawn. Who's your lineup and who's the comedians? I said, whoa, no. No, no. Ray DeJean books the room. He made that very clear. And every time I do the show, there's always comedians here. But thank God, I actually a comedian reached out to me to do a guest spot,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And he showed up. But the manager was like, yo, don't worry about it. Comedians always show up. So I said, who's closing the show? Meaning, the last comedian, the funniest or whatever. He says, I don't know. And Cindy, I called my beloved sis in the chat room, Stephanie. That's it. Is she still in the chat room?
Yeah.
Cindy, she was in her crib, in her pajamas, watching CNN and strolling on social media with a rag on her head.
You don't have
I
to say
said,
rag on
I
head.
said, I said, Steph, sis, you gotta come down here and bail me out. I need help, please. And she's like, I don't know, blah 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 blah. And then she said, "Don't worry, I got you. I'm on my way. Don't start the show until 8:30." That's what she said. I said, "No, Steph, I can't. I gotta start like now, almost now, because the room is already full. I can't wait another 40 minutes."
Right.
And don't you know that my beloved Stephanie K, that's in this chat room right now, showed up, SennyJ, in a caravan of white horses with a carriage. It looked like a scene from a British movie. This woman walked in and Cindy went, I saw Stephanie walk into that club. Now the show was going. Now the show was already great. The show was dope before she walked in. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's getting their laugh on. And when Stephanie walked in, I swear to God, I ran over to her and I ain't hug. I squeezed her because I knew we was gonna be all right. And
But
Cindy,
that's not your job to do that. You
I
could have just
know.
went on and just whatever. It's
Cindy,
just after
this
party. Didn't they have a DJ there?
Yeah, the DJ was there. Everybody was there, but I needed that. But I mean, guys, if you have never seen Stephanie perform,
I mean, yeah, I'm glad she was there, but
she's very funny. She's hilarious. And Cindy, I called her on stage because now we good. Stephanie's here. The other two comedians were funny as well. Shout out to Jim Simon and Tony P. They were funny, no question about
so they were
it.
gonna be there. So the other two comedians were gonna be there. You just didn't have a closer.
I didn't have a closer. One comedian hit me up and said they wanted to come by and do a few minutes, and I said, yeah. And the other comedian just walked in.
Oh,
So
okay.
when he walked in, I was like, "You're going on, sir." But and no disrespect to they're funny, but I needed that extra funny so these people can get their money's worth.
Right.
And I want to say thank you to Stephanie. Stephanie came into the building in all her glory and her splendor, walked to the stage, SennyJ. Stephanie do have control issues. If you don't know her, she's very controlling, but I still love her. This good people. Cindy, she goes on stage and destroys the room. When not only 90 minutes earlier, she was in the bed in her robe with a big rag on her freaking head, calling it a night because she had such a productive day at her job. And she went from one extreme to the next. And everybody, if y'all don't mind, Stephanie saved your boy's ass last night. Pause. Let's give Stephanie a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Stephanie. Shout out to you. She's a professional, Gotta be
Stephanie,
good at your craft.
Stephanie does well in life. She pulls up with the luxurious German car. She gets out the car and she gets to the stage and she slayed it. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a really long story. Shawn knows how to drag something the hell out. But way to go, Stephanie. You did a great job. And she saved 275 Park's ass because they didn't have their ish together. She didn't necessarily help you. But I get it.
Okay, well, welcome to the show, guys. The only place on earth where you get your morning start right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team, and SennyJ's in the building. You guys in the building. Please like, share, follow, subscribe. Shawn Harvey Morning Show. Cindy, I yield my time. Let's go.
Thank God.
All right, Steph. All right, Steph. You didn't get paid. Pick that up with
Not
the
the most important part of the story.
Steph. See, I wasn't even gonna go there. See, I was.
Not y'all didn't pay her, and you talking about her being wrapped up. You see, this is what I'm talking about.
um,
Not you talking about a black woman
oh
getting up
my.
out of her piece with her rag on her head, like she can do because she's in her piece, worked a full day, and she got a big girl job too. Have to make sure she carry the one and move the decimal to the left.
Well,
To come out in these New York City streets fighting bums and rats, to come there and not get paid. Yeah,
City.
that does sound like saving Shawn Harvey's ass. That does sound like a Shawn Harvey saving my ass type of story.
See, City, that's
Run
not right.
her her money. Run her money. Black women always
Oh,
saving people and never getting compensated for it. And that just ruined my morning. This is not where you get your morning started right. This is where you come to get pissed off.
City, that's her truth. I love her to death. She got
Where's
to take
her
that.
money? Give me my money. Where's her money, Shawn? Since you're so indebted and grateful to her, you gonna come over here and give a 30-minute appreciation post. Run her coins. Give her a Zelle. Put a one in the chat room if you feel like after that long ass winded story where we didn't even get to the point. If Stephanie McRae should get her money. Put a one in the chat room if you want a black woman to get her coins today. Put a
Yo,
number 2 if you don't.
Steph, why you gonna do that, man? Now that's not cool. I said to Steph, briefly take
And
that, with the man.
wasn't Shawn the same one who came on here Monday talking to me about how my sissy bestie boo friend forever for life drove me home and mailed me my phone, and he went on for about 10 minutes about how I need to cash app her some money for going
Oh,
out of her way to help me. And you gonna call this woman out her bed to not only come there, but to be
oh,
funny too and entertain a room full of people. And you didn't even pay her since she helped you so much.
Cindy, Cindy,
Show
Cindy.
over. Talk to Talk Thursday. Show over. Stephanie, if I were you, I'd block Shawn
Yeah,
because he
listen,
obviously ain't looking out for your best interest.
I, I,
But
I,
that's between y'all.
since Stephanie brought it all up, I, I said to her briefly, I said, the management, if you want, and she said, she said, goddamn well, they ain't paying. I said, all right. I didn't even, I wasn't even putting two and two together.
Obviously, because it's not adding up.
Yeah, it
It's
sure
not
is.
adding up.
So I think that Stephanie needs to file a grievance with the club.
No, because she did a favor for you. So she needs to file the grievance for you. For you, sir. Hardfunny@gmail.com for all grievances. For
Yo,
Stephanie or anybody. If you've been
let me
personally victimized in the chat room, the Shawn Harvey Morning Show @gmail.com.
listen,
File your
listen,
grievances.
listen. Let me tell you something. Even though it's not the principle of it all, Stephanie does very well in life. Okay, welcome to the show, guys. And financially, God bless everyone.
Not
Welcome to the
now
show.
she don't need the money.
Yeah, she does.
Not that she good. Wow.
Welcome to the show, guys. Oh, yo, Steph, man, you are such a freaking troublemaker.
I mean, you
Welcome to
want
the
to tell
show, guys.
stories, tell it right.
I didn't want to put that part of the story into it.
Right. Black women always out here begging the man for $1.
Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team with the Queen, SennyJ. Yeah, that just woke you up. Come on, Princess. Don't call me janky, Shawn. Don't do that, bro.
You want to talk about me drinking Hennessy and borrowing $20 from my friends? Look at yourself talking to the man in the mirror. Hello, the call is coming from inside the house.
Wow. Wow. Janky Shawn. For real? Welcome to the show, guys. Only place on earth where Stephanie. All right, Stephanie, go to work. Go to work. God bless you. We appreciate you. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Please like, share, follow, subscribe. Shawn Harvey Morning Show. Wake up to you. Go ahead, Sydney. The show's yours. I yield my time. I'm done.
Okay, y'all. Well, now this is for the men. Where are the men at? Ooh, ooh. Okay, because we got some tea for y'all, and I'm gonna call it out. I'm fair. Disney Channel child star Sky Jackson. Y'all know her. Y'all love her. That's my girl right there. Okay. However, she was arrested for domestic violence, allegedly, with her boyfriend. Um, she has been arrested for domestic battery after getting into a public dispute with her boyfriend. She's 22 years old, popular Disney star. The incident took place last week when deputies were called to the Universal City Walk in California after Jackson was spotted by security guards pushing her boyfriend during an argument more than once. Security observed the altercation and detained the couple until law enforcement arrived. Once deputies reported to the scene, the couple, both of them, allegedly denied that anything became physical, saying that they are happily engaged and that Sky is supposedly expecting their first baby. After law enforcement reviewed video footage that captured her shoving her boyfriend, she was arrested for a misdemeanor domestic battery, cited, and then she was released a few hours later. Her case is still, pending. She has to go before the judge. Of course, there hasn't been much said from her online, but the social media comments, especially from women, and we all know that social media, once it's in the court of public opinion, it's going to be what it is. But a lot of the comments have been on some, and I'm going to pull up a picture of her boyfriend because he is tall, of course, taller than her, bigger than her. So people immediately, especially the women, are going to the comments talking about oh, she just pushed him. What's a push? He didn't even feel it. Da da da. And of course, we all know if this were the other way around, especially with her being as petite as she is, we would be calling all types of him get locked up, him, blah, blah. The same thing we said with Jonathan Majors. So, double standard, and she should be held accountable. You guys say you weren't fighting for real, but they went back and looked at the footage and they said, yeah, you were hitting him. So I guess she can fight it out in court whether she was just playing or not. But obviously it was something. So I feel like everybody should be following suit. Should we be crucifying Sky Jackson just like we would a Diddy or Jonathan Majors or anything like that?
Welcome to the show, guys.
Turner,
Shout out to Ike Turner.
That's not funny.
The original I will be the bitch ass dude.
Not the blueprint.
Right.
Please, I can't. It's not funny.
If be the bitch ass was a person.
Let me find a picture of her boyfriend.
Sky Jackson is her name again?
Yes. If you guys ever watch Disney Channel, your grandkids or your kids, she was in Jessie. Remember that show with that nanny, with the redhead nanny? And she was the kids. Me and my kids love that show. Jessie and Bunked. She was also on, which was kind of like a spinoff.
This is a Babylonian show. Number Babylonians.
No, because she was in it.
Okay.
This is the Babylonian show that has one black person per scene.
Right. But this show's more geared to the Babylonians.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. Not only should she be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, she should get fired from her job. They should immediately fire her. They should immediately place this woman in jail. She put her hands on somebody. I don't care if this man is the size of Scottie Pippen or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And it might have been a setup anyway.
Why they don't have a picture of this man anyway?
She might have been beating on him on a regular basis. This might just be the first time. And he got tired of it. Or when I say setup, she probably put her hands on him and he immediately called the authorities, as he should, as he should. Yeah, look at this guy. Is he a Babylonian?
No, I believe he's of mixed race,
Is he
obviously.
is he Nordic?
You know his mama white, his daddy black.
Okay, cool. So
I
so
don't know.
guess
I'm just
what?
making that up.
Guess what? The white side of him came out, and he went and pressed charges like a grown ass person should.
Hello.
And this
Babylonian Stephanie is what we call white people on the show. These people, we call them Babylonians. That's what
so
they do on TikTok.
so when the Babylonian or Nordic side comes out, you call the police. This man did the right thing, and maybe I don't know if they're married or not. That's the boyfriend, right?
His boyfriend.
Okay, sir. Now he can sue. Now he can sue. I'm going in. I don't want her. I want a restraining order because I fear for my safety. We're doing this is the same standard that they give to the men. I'm shocked that SennyJ is on the right side of the law on this one. I don't care how pretty she is. She's 22 years old. She's turned up. She's a movie star. You probably can't tell her shit. She knows everything. Everybody's kissing her ass on that set. He looks more Babylonian than black, right? So she got this whole attitude already.
You
Maybe
you
maybe
don't know
that.
that about her.
Yeah.
Now
I
you're
do
just
know.
ad libbing.
I do know that about her because the culmination of it all is she put hands on the tall Babylonian. Sir, whoever you are, young man, you probably the same age, obviously. You stay focused. Keep your eye on the prize, sir.
Now keep your eye on her.
You dump this young broad, you sue her, she goes to jail, she loses her job. Just like Jonathan Majors did. There is no, Jonathan Majors was seen on video running away from a Babylonian, and he lost his job. When do you see a nigga run away from a Babylonian and lose his job? Now, if that's the case, then this woman here, 22 years old, is she locked up now? Because she should be.
No, she was cited and released a few hours later. Catch and release.
I say, throw everything at this woman except for the kitchen sink.
Ah.
Disney, what we gonna do, Disney?
Well,
Family.
she's not on those shows anymore. I don't know what Sky is doing. She probably has like little, she was on that when she was younger.
Hey, listen. Blacklist her from Hollywood. They did it to Jonathan. They should do it to her. Same standards.
Well, she should be getting crucified, and especially since everything came out with Cassie. Again, we're having the resurface of the conversation with keep your hands to yourself, both men and women. We've discussed that online at exhaustion. So to see these comments coming from the same people that condemn men for doing the same thing, it's really disheartening because we're all supposed to be being better. We all know better.
So what do they say? Excuse me. What are they saying online?
Hold the same energy.
I don't mean to interrupt you. What are they saying online? They are protecting.
Well, the same things, like the things like I said before. It didn't even hurt him.
No.
How hard could her punch? How hard could a shove really be?
Yeah,
things like that. Just minimizing what happened.
All right.
That's all. So,
all right, let's move on. But what I'm saying is this: if I've been shoved by a woman, I've been kicked by a woman, and I've been punched in the eye by a broad.
Oh,
and it hurt.
Spicy.
It hurt. And the chick was a little woman. She was about 5 foot tall, and I was sitting on the bed, and I'm looking up at her. So it was the angle was the perfect angle. The punch came right here, bang. Okay.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Shawn.
And after she punched me, I fell on the floor, and her 2 teenage sons started beating me up as well. I got beat up by 2 teenagers.
Wow. And it doesn't matter what you did to have that happen to you. Nobody deserves that.
Yeah, yeah. She thought I was cheating on her with her girlfriend, and I wasn't. I really wasn't. This was 30 years ago. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I wasn't.
I know. That's not right. Did you
So
report it?
women, no, I didn't report it. I
Why
should have.
didn't you report it, Shawn?
I ran out. I just didn't. I didn't do anything. I didn't call the police. That's it.
Did nobody make you feel safe that as a man you could report such things that are happening like
And
that?
this woman was living. It was in Brooklyn, Clinton Hill section of Brooklyn, right? And I gathered my things and got on the train. And when I was on the train, Cindy, I had a black eye. That's how hard she punched me. I had a black eye.
I'm so
And then I
sorry.
get home, and my wife was like, "How the hell did you get that black eye?"
Shawn, I'm moving on. I am moving.
I came home
I
like
am
this.
moving on. Shawn, I cannot. You
I was like,
always,
"You
I take back all my sympathy. I
can you
hate
make
you
those
for this.
grits? Make those grits the way I like
I hate you for this story. And I bet your wife
it."
didn't even say anything because she knew you got what was coming to your ass.
And that is a true story. What else you got?
Okay, I had told you guys about this story a while ago. This was like a while ago. You guys remember about the lady that this was during COVID times. I spit.
Right.
This was during COVID times. She was stealing from the school district chicken nuggets.
I remember. I
You put a one in the chat room if you guys remember this story, okay?
remember.
Because I remember it's resurfacing, okay? So remember, I guess the school district had a contract even through COVID to receive these chicken wing shipments. And I think we were more puzzled because we was like, schools don't even serve chicken wings. Whatever. They got this influx of chicken wings. She was taking them home and reselling them. This woman received over $1.9 million worth of chicken. And so this story developed, I guess, we lost track of the story, but she was being sentenced. She got sentenced for this. Now, the Chiefs football player star, Chris Jones, I don't know what position he plays or whatever, he is offering to pay the $1.5 million to release this woman who was sentenced to 9 years in jail over the chicken. He addressed the matter on X, of course, you guys know, formerly known as Twitter, reposting a story about former Chicago school district official Vera Lydell, who was recently handed a near-decade-long prison stint after pleading guilty to being involved in a scam thieving food from public schools. He put up a picture of her with the story and said, "I'll pay for the wings that she stole to get her free." Just a little recap. She's 68 years old. She worked as a food service director for Harvey School District 152. And between July 2020 and February 2022, she picked up and delivered more than 11,000 cases of chicken wings in her personal cargo van. The food was meant for children learning remotely at the time due to COVID and was available for parents to collect. She was found guilty of theft and operating a criminal enterprise for taking $1.5 million worth of products from the batch for her own use. Vera! And what do we always say? Why so much? You could have stopped at $100,000 worth of chicken. You getting it for free, ma'am. You couldn't stop at $200,000 worth of chicken. You had to take the whole 1.5 of that COVID money, girl.
Oh my God.
We're greedy. We're greedy people.
Wait. Well, first of all, she's looking like a 100% neighbor.
Looking like my
Stephanie,
auntie. Looking like my auntie. What are you doing?
right? You got auntie vibes. Like you look like Deacon Essence Williams of the First Olive Baptist Church, AMC, somewhere on Clayton Boulevard in anywhere USA, ma'am. You look like you have your Bible next to your nightstand, and you look like you pray a lot. It looked like you also drive a Nissan. Now, and your first husband died 15 years ago. I got those feelings. Now, resources mean everything. If you gonna move $1.9 million worth of chicken, you got to get the Italians involved. You need the Croatians. You got to get on the hotline, Auntie. You don't have you were picking up chicken in your cargo van. No, and you was out there thinking you was the big chicken wing queen pin by distributing from your location to the rest of the people in the hood. You are not smart enough to move $1.9 million worth of chicken. You just don't have the resources, Auntie. That's where you went wrong. You were supposed to go to the Bloods, the Crips, any kind of criminal organization. They would have took the wings from you, give you a couple of $100,000, keep the rest, and they would have got that off of you. And where was you storing all this chicken? What kind of refrigerators you have? I would have probably went to the local Taco Bell or whatever, or Kansas Fried Chicken and started something up.
I think that's what she was doing. I think she was just reselling it. She couldn't have been keeping it for personal use. There's no way.
Now, for the football player Chris Jones, I think his name is, and Prince is put in the chat room and thank you. He's a football player for the Kansas City Chiefs. Sir, have you been tackled too much on your nugget?
He got CTE.
Come on, you got other issues 10 years down the road, buddy. You might want to need that paper. Because 10 years from now, trust me, there will be a bib on your neck. And you'll be taking baby aspirin, trust me. So you calm down. Now, there is no way, only certain people can buy themselves out of jail. Chris Jones and Auntie, you're not qualified. It's only elite group of people that can do that. And we don't even know these people because they're on the upper crescendo of the legal system. Keep your 1.9 million. She has to do the time. It's a lot of time. But then you are a young lady, the example of stupidity. And Cindy's right. And we say this all the time. Just like when Cindy shared the story about the post office workers that were stealing and coming to work with Jaguars and a young African-American sister, Ferraris. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember.
From Amazon.
Sorry, from Amazon. I don't know if you guys remember that story. This story goes in the same category. Ma'am, you could have took $200,000 worth of chicken wings, made yourself $50,000, $60,000, and no one would have never knew about it. But you have to take the 1.9. So a lot of your time is because of your stupidity. Do you have the desire now to eat a chicken wing? Because if I wouldn't want to be nowhere near chicken. Now you're gonna be in jail and they're gonna be feeding you the chicken that you stole.
And to be honest, I want to look into the school district. Because how y'all have a budget for $1.5 million on just chicken?
Cindy, are you serious?
Money for just the chicken. This is just chicken.
No, Cindy, I'm surprised at you. We know, and we've done stories throughout the years about school districts and how much money that they have revolving in their yearly budget. The city of New York, I think it's $20 or $30 billion.
Well, I would love to see what the teachers at Harvey School District 152 in Illinois are being paid if they're spending $1.5 million on just chicken.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they got an annual school budget of about $500 million. I don't know.
No way.
But maybe you might want to Google it. I don't know. But what I'm saying is this. Ma'am, didn't have the resources. Boy, I mean, what is your pastor thinking right now?
Stop with the pastor.
What is your family that you're 68 years old? Even though age is no immunity for stupidity with age. We know that. 68 years old, you're going to do 9 years in jail for stealing $1.9 million worth of chicken wings. How much money did you really make off the wings?
She was making 100% profit because you think about it. The school is paying for the wings. She's picking them up and then
Right.
reselling them. So she
I
got
get.
all profit. She wasn't, who was she splitting the money with? Not the school district. So
I
that's what
get
I'm
it.
saying. Girl, you made how much money? When was enough for you? And I do agree, 9 years is excessive because let's not forget, didn't Brett Favre, however you say his freaking name,
Yeah.
he get like 5 million from it and they just told him to give it back or some
Yeah.
stupidness. He just didn't need it.
Well,
So
that's
of
that.
course, if this was a Babylonian, she probably would have got, some
Yeah.
community service.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
is
I do agree.
excessive, but also is stupid. And Chris Jones, you need to mind your damn
Yeah.
business.
Chris Jones, go out there and tackle a tree, bro. Mind your business. Okay. Adjust your helmet, sir. This auntie, before we move on, auntie, you're done. I sympathize with you. 9 years is excessive time for this crime. But you love the wings. I'm for sure you must have been eating wings 24/7 in your little cargo van. You picking them up. You could have made a lot of money and no one would have known. You could have made as much as $100,000 or maybe $200,000 and no one would have known it. You'd have had $200 saved or whatever for nest egg, retirement, or whatever. And now look at you. And God forbid, let's even take it to a whole nother level. Let's say she worked for the school district for a certain amount of years. You done lost your pension, your social security. You lost all of that for wings? Oh my God. I don't sympathize. Matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, no, 9 years is not enough. 9 years is not. They should give you 10.
Stop, leave her alone. I
You
can't.
you you lost everything for your greed. You could have still had all the benefits of your job, and you could have, took a little 200,000 off the top, and then still going to work and still deliver. You should have been up there talking about what we're gonna do with all these wings after you done pocket the 200,000. And even if you stole 200,000 worth of wings, what's the worst was gonna happen? They would have fired you. You might have still had your pension, social security. I don't know. But look at you going to jail, Auntie.
This is
Pastor Johnson can't save you on this one. And
I'm
Chris Johnson, the football player, shut up. You
yeah,
got a lot on your mind, sir. What else you got?
exactly. This is this story is ongoing. I just want to touch on it really quick because I just feel like this is happening over in the UK.
Cindy,
Since
Cindy, Cindy, you haven't touched on nothing real quick in a minute. Continue on.
I'm like, since I believe July 30th, there was, to give a little backstory, there are riots, basically race riots that are going on in the UK right now. Okay. Um, it started at a Taylor Swift concert where I believe a girl died and another one was seriously injured. All of a sudden on social media, somebody was arrested for it. He happens to be of Arab descent. There was a lot of Islamic hate going online, treating this like a terroristic act. Turns out, homeboy is born and raised from Britain, and they're not considering this some type of terroristic threat. And I guess somehow things got misconstrued online, and it ended up turning into um, you know, this race war basically where they're talking about British immigrants, Caribbean immigrants, in Asian immigrants, anybody basically who is an immigrant and living in the UK. They're having the far right come out talking about a whole bunch of Trump rhetoric basically going on in the UK about how they're ruining their country. They've been destroying businesses, beating up people of color in the streets unprovoked. um and of course, not a lot of it is being talked about in the States. A lot of this is coming from social media. Reports coming out of UK are basically trying to say, this is all started from stuff online, and now they want to talk about how to, you know, um, have more sensory things in place for things online, so people can stop spreading racial rhetoric and all this other stuff. But the point of the matter is, and now there's this big discourse online going on between Black Americans and um, British Blacks, and it's becoming this whole thing with it. And Black Americans are basically like, we told y'all about these people. A lot of people like to talk about Black Americans and they don't have no culture and they don't know where they're from and all that type of stuff. But y'all that do know where you come from, you want to come here or go to other westernized cultures who are your oppressor. And you praise this, talk down on Black Americans who didn't even do anything, but now you want our help. You want our fire. You want our voices to be amplified to lift you up. And it's like, what do you expect us to do? You have to create a space for yourself. If y'all don't want to go back to the countries that you came from because you are an immigrant to there, they're basically looking at you like how Americans look at Mexicans right now. And it's a problem, but we've been telling you that. If you're Black, it's a problem across the globe. And, it's very disheartening for them. If you can amplify anybody's voices, you can look into the stories that are going on, because it is something that's happening there. And I'm not surprised that the United States is not talking about it. It's not on CNN. It's not on Fox News. It's not on anything.
No, hold on. Thank God for Jesus. Let's, everybody, if y'all don't mind, let's give a round of applause to our one and only, our beloved SennyJ. Let's clap for Senny.
Now let's clap. I gotta leave here.
And let's give a shout out to Senny's that big bun on the top. You see that bun again on it? On you? What's going on? What's that?
Leave it alone. It's about to come out today. I'm sick of it. It looks horrible.
Let's give a shout out to the bun.
Y'all are lucky you got a show today. I don't know about tomorrow.
Now, there's one thing I'm gonna do. Yeah, thanks to Shawn Hayes Jones. Let's give a round of applause to our beloved SennyJ.
I'm like,
she works hard on this show. The show wouldn't be the show without her. You already know it. And I said that 1,000 times. And I'm not doing the show without Senny.
I'm weak.
Now, I do disagree with one thing that you said. It was on media. I saw that story on CNN. The as the Babylonians would say, the liberal CNN. I saw that, and how it was this outrage in this country. And it turned out to be that these folks were residents of the country, but they happen to be African American. But a lot of us Black folks, Princess said you're going on a braid run. Listen to your uncle now. I think I'm the oldest person in this chat room, I think. Am I the oldest person in this chat room? Y'all listen to your uncle. How many times have I said on this show that I'm perplexed that two things. Black folks love to migrate to Atlanta, which I am totally against, and y'all know how I feel. And I don't like the fact that us Black folks still want to venture out into the rest of the world that doesn't even like us. And it's been evident, and it shows proof of the fact. It happened to our beloved SennyJ a month ago, a few weeks ago, when the guy said, gave her a racial comment when she tried to get on the boat in the rain, and he was a Black guy. And there was nothing that SennyJ could do about it, because they would have took her passport and she would have been down there selling bananas on Mondays through Fridays for the tourists. This racism is real globally. Forget about the native Brits over there, the African-American Brits over there. They got an issue over there. Cindy's right. They're treated like migrants. I'm talking about us regular Blacks that want to go abroad. And then y'all laugh at me and tease me when I go abroad and I leave the country and I don't want to leave the resort. Because as Cindy was saying, when she ran up and down in Costa Rica, when we went back there a few years ago, she wanted to experience the culture and go to bars at 11 o'clock at night. I wasn't doing that. We need to start a movement or a group called American Black Folks Don't Ever Travel Abroad.
No, that's not the answer.
You
It's
stay
it's
your
not
punk ass,
it's not the
excuse me.
traveling.
You
It's
stay your punk ass
God.
here because at least you know the devil that you deal with here. It's racism is on steroids in Europe. We already we already talked about that with City report on Monday. How disrespectful, how racist that black folks was treated from the Olympics. She shared a week ago. Remember, City shared the story when the two Olympic athletes couldn't get access into the stadium and they had to walk all the way around like freaking idiots, and the girl couldn't even participate in her event because she couldn't train because they wouldn't even let her in the stadium, and she had all the credentials. Black folks, let's stop going away like that. I
I
don't care
disagree.
what you say. We do have economic power with the black dollar. Imagine all us black folks stop going to the Caribbean. Imagine we all just say, you know what? No more cruises, no more flying to Jamaica, Dominican Republic, or whatever. We will crush these people. I know that that's never gonna happen, but we need to now take notice on what's going on in the world and how black folks are treated when we go abroad. And then we have folks like SennyJ and others who are libertarian and socialist and have this disdain for the country that want to move someplace else. They don't like your ass. Cindy, if you move out of this country, you're gonna go through the same bullshit that everybody else is. You will
What is
not be immune. Excuse me. You and
that?
I yield my time. I yield my time. You will not be immune to the racist bullshit around the world with African Americans. You know the devil that you live with here. The way that they look at us in Europe and the Middle East and in Asia, I stopped going to. I'm gonna get my time. I stopped going to a Chinese restaurant. I stopped supporting Chinese restaurants for 5 years. Remember that story I told? For 5 years, because I actually asked the woman in the Chinese restaurant in Yonkers, New York. I said, "Do you know what collard greens is? Have you ever had African American food?" She didn't even know what I was talking about. But we sit there and we funnel all that money into the Chinese restaurant, and they serve good food. The food is good. If you love Chinese food, God bless you. But what have you seen a owner of a Chinese restaurant contribute anything to the African American community? I'm saying this: racism for black folks abroad is on steroids. Cindy's talked about Paris, the way black folks were treated. This is another story. We it's and this is not made up or staged. Be careful when you go abroad. And I think that us African Americans, at least for a year, imagine African Americans for a year stop going on cruises, stop taking trips to now everybody want to go to Colombia and Argentina and El Salvador and all the doors and the Tinas. They don't like us. And they will, and not only do they don't like us, they'll take our money.
That
You
is
know how
true.
bad I'm gonna my time. I'm gonna my time. You know how bad I felt for our beloved City J, who I look at as a daughter, when she shared that story just a week. Was this a week? Was this even a week ago?
Yeah, it was last
He
week.
dealt with racism with another black man out the country because City and other blacks are so they stereotypical. They're stereotypical to these people, and they have a foregone conclusion that we're less than. Guys, at least for a year, let's pick a year, 2028. Let's black folks don't go nowhere for a year and watch half these countries crumble economically. I yield my time.
My thing is, I'm just gonna keep this short because I have to leave. Um, it's not about traveling because there are plenty of countries that don't care if you're black. You know how many black people I've heard that have been stationed in the military in Japan that are like, oh, I would go back. So friendly. They were so nice. They were this, they were that, whatever.
Because they got battleships out there, Cindy, to blow the world, to blow the whole situation up.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. That would even be more reason why, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that people still can't treat you a certain way. They're not going to come and blow up a restaurant just because the server was rude to you or didn't serve you. There are places that don't care what color you are. The more Western culture it is, the more um you know, westernized it is, yes, you're going to have more racism there. Europe, Dutch countries, Germany, Scandinavia, all these places that are basically the OGs for the American blueprint.
Right.
Of course, you're going to have, is colorism a situation for everybody across the diaspora? Of course, there are Black people in Africa that are bleaching their skin. So even there's literally no place to say, but I'm not going to say I'm going to shackle myself to the United States. The biggest person, the biggest creator of making Black people feel less than, just because we can speak our mind and go to work, doesn't mean that they love me here or that I like being here either. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to handicap myself. I'm glad that I'm emotionally intelligent enough and smart enough to understand where that prejudice, racism, and colorism, texturism, I'm well enough aware and self enough to where to understand where that's coming from, to not let it affect me. Is it disheartening? Is it disappointing? Is it ignorant? Of course, but I'm not going to let that stop me from experiencing the beauties, different cultures of people that do accept you, right? Just like there's not all white people hate Black people, you miss out. And by being racist and prejudiced and all these things, you miss out on those one-off encounters that you can get understanding and learning. And that's what people do. They want to shut themselves off for everything that's not them. And that's where you get all these xenophobic comments and all these, weird things that happen to people and prejudices and things like that, because they only want to stick with what they know. Now, I'm not saying that we need to be integrating with these people and doing all this stuff, but you need to be able to move around about how you feel comfortable. Don't stay in places that are not serving you. Y'all want to go to London and UK and think you're more superior than Black people, but you have to than Black Americans. You have to understand you're Black wherever you go. And I think that's where people get confused. They get confused with nationality and their actual race. Nobody cares that you know where you come from. They care about the color of your skin. And I feel like once people move past that, then everybody can, do what you need to do. Like, that's really what it is. But to say that America is for Black people, I'm not picking up that flag either.
I didn't say Americans with Black people. I
Yes,
said
you
that.
are. You're
I
basically
said
saying
this
stick with
is
the devil,
that
don't
I
leave,
stick with
don't
the devil.
travel, keep your money and stay
There's
here.
a
What is
lot
that
of.
saying?
I will use one of your terms. There's a lot of brainwashing, because if I know that I'm going abroad somewhere and people are racist and I'm still giving them my money. See, racism is one thing. Okay, Bill across the street, he's racist. Let's just say Bill across the street is racist. I know that. But I'm not going to walk across the street and give Bill $20. So
Yeah, but you're gonna give it to his cousin who owns the store where
I'm
you live.
I'm talking about Bill. I'm talking about Bill.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not.
that's the thing.
I'm not.
You're talking
I'm
about
not
Bill,
going to
but you don't
give.
know how these people are
I'm
interconnected.
not. How many times? Put a number one in the chat room if you experience racism abroad, or you felt like you wasn't treated right abroad. Put a number one in the chat room. Okay, now, Cindy, great show today. We both have to get out of here. Great show today. Put a number one chat room if you enjoyed the show today. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing. We truly appreciate you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for spending time with us each and every morning when we're on this platform. We all are a family here. Cindy J and I, and Tamiko are just the conduit of this show. We are all family members, and we appreciate you guys, and we love you guys so much. So thanks for tuning in. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team for life. Cindy, you got the last word.
You guys all go and have a great day.
Okay, we out. We'll see you tomorrow.